Sup Chat? Just reading some Frankenstein. Yeah, Frankenstein. I don't know what this means. Does anybody know what the word enticements mean? That's not a word. That is not a real word. I appreciate that. Sans the skeleton, thank you so much. This though, I don't understand. Why? Why do we have to read this? Alright, let me just read it to you, okay? I shall satite. Shoot, I've got a message. I don't care. I shall satite my ardent curiosity with the sight of a part of the world never before visited, and may train my enticements, and they are sufficient to conquer all fear of danger or death, and to induce me to commence this laborious voyage with the joy a child feels when he embarks in a little boat with his holiday mates on an expedition of discovery of his native river. But supposing all these that's not a real word. Let me say it to you. Where is it? All these conjectures to be false, you cannot contest the inestimable benefit which I shall confer on all mankind. To the last generation, by discovering the passage near the pool to those countries to reach which at present so many months are requisite, or by chat, does anybody understand Frankenstein? Like, why am I learning this? Or by ascertaining the secret of the magnet, which, if at all possible, can only be effected by an undertaking such as mine. These reflections have dispelled in I don't understand this. Agitation with which I began my letters, and I feel my heart glow enthusiasm, which elevates me to heaven, for nothing contributes so much to tranquilize the mind as a steady purpose. A point on which the soul may be fixed is intellectual eye. This expedition has been the favorite dream of many early years. I have read with ardor the accounts of the various voyages which have been made in the prospect of arriving at the North Pacific Ocean through the seas which surround the pole. Like, yeah, no duh. I don't even know what half the words means in here. Who reads Frankenstein in the Big 26? I appreciate the subs, everybody. I don't know what to do with this. Where was I? All right. You may remember that a history of all voyages made for purposes of discovery composed the whole of our good Uncle Thomas' library. My education was neglected, yet I was passionately fond of reading. These volumes were my study day and night, and my familiarity with them increased. I don't even know where I was. With them increased that regret which I had felt as a child on learning that my father's dying injunction had forbidden my uncle to allow me to embark in a seafaring life. You guys following? Because I'm sure not. These visions faded when I pursued for the first time those poets whose effusions entraced my soul and lifted it to heaven. I also became a poet, and for 1 year lived in a paradise of my own creation. I imagine that I also might attain a niche in the temple where the names of Homer and Shakespeare are consecrated. Who's creating Frankenstein? It's okay if I'm. Yes. Any religion is allowed, guys. Who am I to judge? I'm not the creator. At least I don't think I am. Unless this is actually my Minecraft worlds from years ago. Wait. Now I gotta think about it. Nah, I'm kidding. Alright. Where was I? You are well acquainted with my failure and how heavily I bore the disappointment. But just as that time I inherited the fortune of my cousin and my thoughts were turned into the channel of the earlier bent. I don't know. You guys should subscribe. It's a poem about Islam. Who in chat has read Frankenstein? I don't like it. Here we go. To be or not to be. Okay, 6 years have passed since I resolved on my present undertaking. I can now even remember the hour from which I dedicated myself to the great enterprise or enterprise. I commenced by inuring my body to hardship. I accompanied the whale fishers on several expeditions. I don't like this book. Age 19 is the best to get married. That's what I'm saying, brother. Anyway, let's continue. Story time. I accompanied the whale fishers on several expeditions to the North Sea, voluntarily endured cold, famine, thirst, and want of sleep. Who doesn't want to sleep? I often worked harder than the common sailors during the day, devoting my nights to the study of mathematics and theory of medicine, those branches of physical science from which a naval adventure might derive the greatest practical advantage. What is this book about, chat? I don't like it. Alright. Twice I actually hired myself as an undermate in a Greenland whaler and acquainted myself to admiration. I must own I felt a little proud when my captain offered me the second dignity in the vessel and entreated me to remain with the greatest earnestness, so valuable did he consider my services. Appreciate the subs, everyone. But we gotta keep reading. Alright. And now, dear Margaret, do I deserve to accomplish some great purpose? My life might have been passed in ease and luxury, but I preferred glory to every cement the wealth placed in my path. Oh, that some encouraging voice would answer in the affirmative. My courage, my resolution is firm. Where was I? But my hopes fluctuate, and my spirits are often depressed. Who isn't? Ha ha ha. Mhm. I am about to proceed on a long and difficult voyage, the emergencies of which all demand my fortitude. I am required not only to raise the spirits of others, but sometimes to sustain my own when they are failing. This is the most favorable period for traveling in Russia. Then like in Russia. What are you doing? Oh, okay, it's a good cat. Good kitty kitty. Jesus was human, not a cat. I like that quote. I'm going to quote that. Others. But sometimes to sustain my own when there's everyone should subscribe. Love Frankenstein, right guys? We love reading. Love reading. Page 3 quote. Hear ye. Then fly quickly over the snow in their sledges. The motion. We love motion. I ain't seen enough motion. Alright? Frankenstein. Who does not love Frankenstein? Is pleasant and, in my opinion, far more agreeable than that of an English stagecoach. The cold is not excessive if you are wrapped in furs. A dress which I have already adopted, for there is a great difference between the walking the deck and remaining seated motionless for hours when no exercise prevents the blood from actually freezing in your veins. Subscribe. I have no ambition to lose my life on the post road between St. Petersburg and Archangel. Archangel. Wow, that's a real place, I think. Is it, chat? I don't know these stuff. I don't know Frankenstein. Continue. I shall depart for the latter town in a fortnight. Fortnight! Oh. That's actually crazy. Fortnite in Frankenstein is insane, chat. That's a legendary poll. We shall continue. Or 3 weeks, and my intention is to hire a ship there, which can easily be done by paying the insurance for the owner and to engage as many soldiers as I think necessary among those who are accustomed to the whale fishing. A fish. I do not intend to sail into the month of June, and when shall I return? Ah, dear sister, how can I answer this question? I don't know. If I succeed, in many, many months, perhaps years, will pass before you and I may meet. If I fail, you will see me soon or never. Bro took a whole million years to type 3 words. Who else likes Frankenstein? Farewell, my dear. Excellent Margaret. Heaven shower down blessings on you and save me that I may again and again testify my gratitude for all my love and kindness. Isn't that sweet, chat? Subscribe. Your affectionate brother, Her Walton. Who is that? We don't care. Alright, letter number 2. 2, sir, number 2. As though the scene in Shrek where they're picking up princesses. 2, sir, number 2. When he holds up number 3. I don't know. What, like, I don't know. Just letter number 2 from Frankenstein. I don't know. And I hate this book. Alright. Archangel, 28th March 17th to Miss Salvi, England. What is up, Max? Loves Stranger Things. What is up? I'm getting fancy. I've never had a book with a string before. What is up, everybody? Make sure you guys subscribe because I'm reading and it's free. That's a good reason, right, chat? It's free. Alright, let's start. How slowly the time passes here, encompassed as I am by frost and snow. Yet a second step is taken towards my enterprise. I have hired a vessel and occupied in collecting my sailors. Those who I'm already engaged appear to be men on whom I can depend and are certainly possessed of dauntless courage. Courage, JD. Comedy gold. Alright. Okay. But I have one want which I have never yet been able to satisfy in the absence of object of which I now feel as I most serve evil. I have no friend. Margaret, when I am glowing with the enthusiasm of success, there will be none to participate my joy. If I am assailed by disappointment, no one will endeavor to sustain my dejection. I shall commit my thoughts to paper. It is true, but that is poor medium of the commissions, or for the communication of feeling. I desire the company of a man who could sympathize with me, whose eyes would reply to mine. You may deem me romantic, my dear sister, but I bitterly feel the want of a friend. I have no one near me, gentle yet courageous, possessed of a cultivated, I don't even know what this is, but as well as of a capish mind whose tastes like my own, to approve or amend my plans. How would such a friend repair the faults of your poor brother? I am too ardent in execution and too impatient or of difficulties, but a still greater evil to me that I am self-educated. For the first 14 years of my life I ran wild, uncommon, and read nothing but our Uncle Thomas books of voyage. At that age I became acquainted with the celebrated poets of our own country, but it's only when it hadn't ceased to be power to deserve its most important benefits from conviction that I perceived the necessity. That is so weird. Vizzy's here. That's so weird. I don't know how I feel about that. That is weird. Anyway, let's continue. Page number 6. I have to read till page number 19. Of becoming acquainted with more languages than that of my native country. Now I'm 28 and I'm in reality more illiterate than many schoolboys of 15. Is it true that I thought more? My daydreams are more extended and magnificent, but they want, as painters call it, keeping. And I greatly need a friend who would have sense enough not to despise me as romantic and affection enough for me to endeavor to regulate my mind. What does that mean, chat? What does that mean? You're a ghost? Subscribe.